most likable woman I know? There's no way. There's no way. I literally have the base debuff of autism. You know why I got a diagnosis, chat? You know why I pursued a diagnosis? First of all, I just want to make it clear that when you pursue a diagnosis in autism, nothing changes. They can't cure you. There's no medicine to become unautistic. You just figure out if you're really autistic. It's literally just finding out. Like, nothing changes. But the reason I went to figure it out is because I've always been a little off. Like, people told me the way I talk, the pacing is weird. How do you say? I don't have a very strong sense of self, if that makes sense. So for each social situation, I have like a scripted way to act that I taught myself how to that I think is socially acceptable. Does that make sense? So when I act the way that I think people will expect somebody normal to act, it's just off enough that normal people would be like, oh, you can't trust her. She's a little weird. You know what I mean? So it was frustrating me all my life. And then I was in therapy with my therapist and my psychologist. And they're like, maybe you should figure out you might be autistic. You know what I mean? So we pursued that diagnosis so I can have I don't know, like some context to why I am certain ways. It doesn't really take away the struggle of daily life, really, because it's not really an excuse to be like rude sometimes, you know what I don't mean to, but it kind of gives me like, oh, this is why. So now you can like use that frame of reference and you can like improve, if that makes sense, or try to like find ways around your issue. That's the only reason. It really didn't change anything beyond that, right? It doesn't help you. In any other way. It's just like a peace of mind, you know? And people tend to vibe with you. Like, if they notice you're a little off, you can just be like, oh, by the way, if I'm a little weird, it's like I have autism, so if I say something really weird, like, let me know. And then they're like, oh, so with that mindset, they're looking at you and they're like, okay, like sometimes she will respond a little weird. You know what I mean? Yeah, more and more, I think I'm masking less, but it's hard because I've been masking all my life. I'm like normal enough in which normal people don't really suspect I have autism, but I'm like just off enough to make people not like me. If that makes sense. If that makes sense. So now, like, I'm just learning to live my autistic truth, you know, a little bit more. But as that happens, I'm scoring higher and higher on my autism spectrum test every time I take it. So I like you, Shiina. Aw, thank you. I know you guys do, but it was something I was really worried about as a streamer. No, it's so funny. I didn't tell you guys the story, but you guys see me do this sometimes when I talk, right? You know what that is? Do you guys know what this is? This is a tick. A self-soothing, stimming tick I've had since birth. And you know what's so funny is before I became a VTuber, I was with my grandpa during the time my grandma was passing away, right? And I was on the chair. And I was like doing that because I don't really know what I'm doing yet, right? And then my grandpa was like, you literally look R-worded. You need to stop doing that. Little does he know.
Everybody, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Low Effort Clips. That's right, Low Effort Clips, right here on YouTube.com. Yeah, and hit the notification bell. Yeah.